What if we can bring back a culture of connectedness to Mother Earth, something genuine from within, which is my interpretation of the meaning of Indigenous. Indi meaning from within. As you know, it's also short for independent. And genus meaning having to do with creation, so creating from within. Let's clear something up right now. Most likely, your personal forefathers and mothers, like mine, came from a colonial culture, meaning they paved paradise and put up a parking lot, as the song goes, displacing the indigenous in almost every corner of the world. The expansion of empire goes back and back throughout history, but somewhere along the vine of your ancestry, you have relatives who belonged to a culture which lived in deep attunement to a particular place. Is it possible to reconnect with those roots? Yes. And in doing so, we have the opportunity to grow towards a more conscious lifestyle, to arrive at a place within ourselves that serves our need to cultivate relationships that are truly fulfilling. I'm native to California. That's where I was born, in a town called Thousand Oaks, if you care to know. My parents both have mixed European ancestry, and I was lucky enough to have my dad's mom live with us a lot of the time. Her name was Betka Lankowska, and her mom and dad were immigrants from Poland and Russia, respectively. Year before last, I had the opportunity to go live in Poland for a spell, where I volunteered at a place called Nemoland, which means no man's land. It's a Dutch nonprofit which aims to bring people closer to nature and to various cultures which revere nature, such as pagan Slavic traditions, African animism, and Australian Aboriginal teachings about the dream time. This concept of the dream time really gels with the idea that Indigenous means creating from within. Row, row, row your boat, anyone? Life is but a dream. There I sat with a group of local children around a fire pit, listening to an Australian father read the creation story of the rainbow serpent, accompanied by the translation from his Polish wife. I took a video which I'll be happy to share with anyone who asks for it. As chance has it, there is a recreation of a primitive village just a valley or two over from Nemoland, a place called Dolina Harmony. I visited that beautiful place, where the past comes to life every day, because there are young people inhabiting the traditional village and co-creating a thriving natural culture, obviously with some modern amenities, but very much in a spirit reminiscent of the ancient indigenous roots we all have somewhere. Now, I don't know the details of my family history beyond that my great-grandmother Kazimierza Lankowska lived in Warsaw, or Warszawa as I learned it's called in Poland. But traveling where I did made an impact on me. It was transformational to see the village and to make discoveries that resonate somewhere deep within, like the carving of the ancient Slavic deity Svetovid, which is featured at the community center in Nemoland. Actually, I was so touched that I chose to stay in Europe. Now I live in Montenegro because I love the warm seaside. We may never know the historical details of our families if we aren't lucky enough to have had meticulous record keepers down the vine. But with guidance from my developing methodology, we can learn enough to form a meaningful reconnection. And as I say, our ancestors are calling for it. And I believe they are alive in each one of us and will help us immensely if we just make the effort to share presence with them here and now. Here and now. I'd like to offer some linguistic musing, which I hope you will find insightful. It has to do with words like heritage, heretic, and heraldry. You'll notice they all share the Latin root heres, meaning air, not the air we breathe, the air that we are. Observe this root's similarity to the Spanish word eres, meaning you are. Relatedly, the word heretic actually comes from the Latin hereticus, which is derived from the Greek, meaning able to choose, or one who chooses. What is the point of digging into these ancient linguistic codes? It's like digging for gold. The golden nugget of knowledge we find here is this message: you are the heir to the power of your ancestors when you choose to embrace their presence here and now. Heritage, after all, is not just about culture, land, or tradition. It's about connection. It's about remembering what was meant to be passed down to you, not just biologically, but spiritually, emotionally, and creatively. And that's something we all deserve to reclaim. Many of us grew up without a strong sense of where we come from. Maybe our family histories were lost, fragmented by migration, war, or assimilation. Maybe we were taught that tradition was something outdated, something irrelevant to the modern world. You see, heretics were persecuted for clinging to their indigenous pagan heritage. I believe it's no accident that these words start with H-E-R. Her Majesty, the Divine Mother, the Earth, who feeds us, as well as the Divine Feminine in her many forms, which have been demonized and suppressed because when we have her here, we hold such power now. Circle up and it's called a powwow. Well, such a thing is not in the best interest of the control and extract paradigm. Across the globe, colonialism and empire systematically dismantled indigenous cultures, replacing them with systems that prioritized profit over people, control over connection. Even now, much of what we learn in school, see in media, and experience in daily life reinforces a single way of being, one that often leaves us feeling disconnected, unfulfilled, and searching for something more. But here's the thing, that deeper connection hasn't disappeared. It's still available, waiting for us to embody it again. Reconnecting with our indigenous roots isn't about rejecting the modern world. It's about finding ways to weave old wisdom into our present lives. It's about rediscovering the practices, values, and worldviews that can help us feel more whole, more aligned, more at home in ourselves and the world around us. For some, this means learning about their ancestors' spiritual traditions or reconnecting with their native language. For others, it means embracing ways of living that honor the land, building community, or simply questioning the corporate nationalistic narratives we've been fed about success, belonging, and identity. I've seen how powerful this journey can be. I've walked large parts of it myself, and I can tell you it's not about achieving some perfect level of knowledge or authenticity. It's about being open, being curious, and allowing yourself to step into a relationship with your past in a way that nourishes your future. If this speaks to something in you, if you feel that pull, that quiet but persistent sense that there's something more waiting to be remembered, I invite you to take the next step. I'm offering a program to guide you through the process of reconnecting with your indigenous roots in a way that's personal, meaningful, and practical. This is not about looking backwards with nostalgia, but about stepping forward with greater understanding and empowerment. Together, we'll explore the history that shaped you, uncover the wisdom that still lives in your lineage, and find ways to integrate that knowledge into your daily life. You don't have to embark on this journey alone. You don't have to have all the answers. You just have to be willing to begin. Our ancestors are not just figures of the past. They live on in us, in our predispositions, our creativity, our dreams. The question is, are we listening? Will we honor the inheritance that is waiting for us, not just in the form of stories and traditions, but in the very essence of who we are? This is your invitation. Take the first step. Reclaim what is yours. And together, let's remember what it means to belong.